Good morning. I originally went to bed at like 10 o'clock, 10:30. Woke back up around 1 in the morning and then fell back to sleep around like 4 or 5. Now today I gotta go over to the house and move boxes, but part of me too, it's like I don't see the point of just doing that. I can do a lot of that shit when I get the U-Haul here to move. So yeah. I think I've literally only been awake for like maybe 10 minutes. Tomorrow, start heading up towards north of Bend for the other. Sort of treating this as kind of like a little mini vacation, I guess you could say. Yeah, I'm staying in the RV where it's been moved. Yeah. But of all things, I'm sleeping on the little fucking couch. I mean, there's a bunk bed. There's a big queen size one, which just fucking sucks, but yeah. So I'm just gonna go sleep on the couch now. It's got a nice sunny day going on today. I mean, I can kind of feel that warmth of the sun coming through on the top of my head, but it's not really, at least for right now here in the RV, it's not that hot. Thankfully. It's actually pretty cool. Definitely, yeah. I'm exhausted, but I should hopefully get my little sleep schedule like kind of reset here over this week. Now, the idea of sticking to that sleep schedule is a totally different, like, monster of itself. Ugh. Neck feels a little kinked up. This couch is like barely a love seat. If yeah. Just trying to think about what all to do today. I know I need to go to the house anyways and just kind of go through and check on shit. But still gotta, yeah. I mean, there's still a couple things I can do while I'm here. I just know that I'm pretty done doing this shit by myself. So my neighbors have been there to help. And they're pretty cool. Just right now, yeah. All anybody knows is right now, all I can do is just pretty much sit and wait until we get a U-Haul here. I had got one of those storage pods, and when the guy was delivering it, we learned that it's one of those ones that isn't going to move from state to state. They just move it to the storage facility. The place never told us that. And then, yeah, it's just with everything going on and needing my folks to stay in Oregon, and I need to stay here as well. I need my family, and so I'm just hoping things in time will start getting better. hope, because I know there's a lot of fucking hate out there, and I'm pretty done with the hate. And I think I'd kind of come to, not just think, I'd come to the, what was it, conclusion that I need to just start cutting people off. Especially those that are connected to that person. Because really, I think there's been some little relay bullshit going on too. And I'm not dealing with that high school shit. I don't want to. I'm not looking for that, like I said, a high school relationship type bullshit. Oh, was working last night. It's been weird. I wouldn't be surprised if the electricity was here. It's unplugged for right now. But no, I'm just really exhausted still, of course, and yeah. I already know one person that I'll be removing off of Facebook, because there is that link. And I do think that person is, or that other person that's on my Facebook is doing the back and forth also. I mean, I could very well be wrong about it. I'm just not about taking those risks, especially with a narcissist. Somebody who just doesn't give a shit about who they fucking hurt. I mean, she doesn't give a shit. So I'd just rather not risk dealing with that stuff. Hoping to be done with this house and everything out as smoothly and quickly as possible once that time comes. Ugh. Sorry, I look like shit. I literally just woke up. I'm not, no lie on that. Ugh. So yeah. No, things are getting better. Just big waiting game. Last night sat and had some chicken tacos with the neighbors. Those were pretty fucking good. Flour tortilla type things, and they fried them up or whatever, but it was pretty good. Yeah, for most part, I think it's just pretty much just being lazy down here at the moment until moving time. There really isn't a lot of shit to do at my house. Yeah. I just need to get my ass to wake up a bit and all that stuff. I could sit here and pass out right here just like this again. I need to quit smoking. Honestly, like, I'm right there on the verge of quitting book. Even though the cannabis was prescribed to me as a med, I've been wanting to fucking kick that shit and all that. Period. It doesn't do much of anything for me. It helps with the anxiety a little bit, but smoking this shit, which I really need to quit, and combined with the other, it's just not good on my lungs. So I mean, yeah. You ever feel like you're waiting for like a phone call or a text message or an email from somebody, but you don't know who, and you don't know when it's gonna come through? It's like you feel like you're waiting for something like that. I know I'm waiting for the stuff on the house, but you get those weird little moments. Like, is somebody supposed to call me today or something, or email me? I don't know. I know not. It's just kind of nice though that my phone isn't necessarily getting blown up by a bunch of people and all that. That's been the one thing I've been kind of, I guess, been lucky about, having so many fucking people hate me, is I don't have to worry about my phone getting blown up regularly on, text message or private message or whatever. I think I get more random phone calls from those scammer places than I get from anybody else. I mean, in fact, the only person who realistically calls me now these days is either my dad when uh he's gonna call about either like if I'm down here, and he might call me about the dogs or whatever, and let me know what's going on with my mom, if something's up. Other than that, up until a few days ago, my son was the only other person that has called me. Um, I don't generally answer phones anyway. I'm not a fan of talking on phones. That's why I've usually, text, email, that type of stuff. Usually the easiest way to contact me is a text message or on Facebook. What are you, like a DM or PM or whatever the fuck to call a message on Messenger, I guess. But I rarely answer phone calls unless I'm expecting a call from somewhere or I know who it is. Well, I hope everybody else got to have some decent sleep last night and didn't wake up still tired. And I sat back at one point, I think it was last night or this morning, and I finally was able to sit and watch the backstory on Katie Nicole. She's a singer I like. What's funny is the backstory. It might as well be a backstory, literally, because she had scoliosis, and she had to go through all this surgery on her spine to straighten it out, and it was just causing nothing but problems for her. And then when they took the hardware out, like the nuts, the bolts, and all the metal, yeah, it's pretty cool. I don't know what, about what happened, or it was just really, really cool. And what that basically led her to become a singer, and I guess uh, I'm trying to think off the top of my head now, lead services or whatever at her churches and stuff, which is pretty cool. Stuff like that when people, yeah, they hit these moments where like, man, I'm just ready to just give up and just go knock the mama off a cliff into the tar pits below. Totally aged myself to the dinosaurs TV show. But it's fun watching stuff like that sometimes, where people really been ran through the ringer and something happens that it kind of like flips a switch or flips their life around in a moment, pretty much. I don't know why I'd start talking about that. But it was fun learning about her backstory, what happened, how she came to becoming an artist. Just like I think it was I think it's Taya. I can't remember if she was blind. I know one of them, one of the singers there, in the Christian music industry is blind and ended up flying a plane from one coast to the other blind, which is pretty cool. And yeah. So, I mean, it's pretty cool to learn about some of these different people's backstories. And you're like, really? It's not like a disbelief thing. It's like, let me see. Well, I know from being in my shoes and what I just went through, and I keep saying God saved my life. But I can understand why for other people that's gone through some other health struggles and all that, and going, yeah, God really saved my life. I can understand that stuff. Even if somebody could give a medical explanation to that person, it's like, no, you're just a tool used in the process of this. But yeah, all the glory goes to God. So it's been pretty cool to, I don't know. I in all honesty, even in my situation, I like I said, I keep saying God saved my life. Because, yeah, I don't know if I would be like, I don't know. I don't think I would be I think I'd be pretty broken down and shattered. It's like I just kind of, I don't know how to explain it. I just kind of woke up one day, not literally. It took a little longer than that. But it was like waking up one day and just kind of having, like, a lot of that anger and pain just kind of just not there. And a lot of it took that realization that I was giving my heart to, I was giving my time and my heart and my efforts to somebody that didn't give a shit. All they did was keep going around talking shit, trying to make me a monster, while to my face they would tell me they loved me. And that's some of the most fucked up shit I think anybody can do. That's like Satan right there in the flesh. They're going to come and tell you, make these promises and tell you what kind of wonderful, great person you are. And give you these, It's not like she did that. She never did. I never got told that type of shit. But I was never told that shit. But it would be like them comforting you to your face once in a while behind your back they're just tearing your life apart. Excuse me. It's like making sure that you have nowhere to go. And so, yeah, I feel like I got freed from prison. And I'm happy my mind has been broke free from that shit. I'm happy my heart is even broke free from that shit. And I owe every ounce of it to God. I didn't have anybody helping me. Everybody abandoned my ass. And what few friends I had, other than my neighbors, which have been really fucking cool, but friends that I've known for a long time, even going back to my childhood, I recognize there's something wrong when people you've maybe known for 2-3 years are starting to turn out to be better friends than people you've known for 20-30 years. There's something wrong when the people you really, cared about most and sort of needed most during these moments or whatever, during these hard times, and they're not there and you're alone. And yet you're always one of the people that is very quick to being there for them if they're going through something or what have you. You might respect some space, like, okay, they just lost somebody, gotta give them some time before it's like, hey, you doing all right, having a good day, that type of thing. Because those kinds of questions, I think it's like, the answer to, so there's no point in asking, and it's like throwing salt on a wound. So it's like, I don't like doing that to people. They just had a loss. I'm not gonna call someone up and go, hey, how you doing? You have a good day? It's hard to do that. You know they're not. You know they're wearing a mask and they're just gonna try and tell people, yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm doing okay. You know. But out of all the years that I've been living here, I realized I haven't had anybody. I haven't had any friends really. If it wasn't for my neighbors and Scott at the market, I wouldn't have had anybody down here. I would not have had anybody down here. It's sad when you have to basically start to be friends with your attorney's secretary in your attorney's office because you can't make friends anywhere else. And you more or less, it's like pen pals on email. And that lady, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have had the defense that I needed to provide the shit I had, to be like, look, I wasn't where they kept saying I wasn't doing what they kept telling people and you guys what I was doing, all that shit. Here's literal video showing what I was doing. This is why I started doing this channel every single day. When things start going bad, I start documenting. Because of that. That's why you'll see me document myself 2-3 times a day. Because I don't trust that person. They have a habit of, they've formed too much of a habit of lying out their fucking ass and not telling the truth. So yeah, no, I don't really care for... I'm one of those people, just tell me the fucking truth. Whether it pisses me off and hurts or whatever, it's not, it doesn't, I take it a lot better than somebody who just fucking straight lies. And I can't stand people who lie. Especially when I know they're doing, saying one thing to my face and then they're doing other shit behind my back. People like that, I struggle to want anything to do with. And that's why I think I'm gonna start removing some folks. I don't have many people on my Facebook account right now because I just started it. I renewed, trying to break away from that person, but obviously that person is gonna do what they do. Thankfully, I do have them blocked. I was finally able to get in there and figure out who was following my account, which is, I'm thankful, is a friend. I mean, there's a lot of relief really coming from that here last night. Seeing that, I was like, okay, good. Okay, good. So, all I've got to deal with, what I'm dealing with is somebody possibly doing the back and forth. And I know exactly which person it is. Because the others that I'm friends with are not. Well, yeah. That's why I wouldn't even be friends with my friend Kevin anymore. And I knew that guy since I was like 7, 8 years old, just like my buddy Nate. Because he's still on he's still on her friends list. And it's like, nope, I'm not being, nope. Have a good one, homie. She caused a lot of people to really fucking hate me, like genuinely hate me. And so I wish I wish her the best, I guess, for what it is. I'm not dealing with all that anymore. I mean, I've been at the point I don't give a shit necessarily if I have all these friends. All I care about is basically my family and just getting back on my feet and getting my shit together. Because I'm tired of expending so much energy on people that abuse it. And it's like I'm getting nowhere. It's like I'm running as fast as I can and I'm going nowhere. So it's like I'm thankful that God got me out of that situation. Now it's just getting through this part and then figuring out who's who, what's what, and severing those ties altogether permanently. put it this way. I've been ready to be committed, settled down, committed. I'm ready to get committed to the hospital. They have great food there. No. Well, that is true. I do actually, of all things, I'm one of those weirdos who does like hospital food. But it's just time for me to, I want commitment in my life. I don't just want to make sure I have my business going and a stable home. I want a stable relationship. If that happens, end up alone the rest of my life. I end up alone the rest of my life. I kind of already expect I'll be dying alone. I'll have one of those funerals where I'm the only one there. Yeah. That's what I foresee in my future, really, because of the amount of hate that's been shown. But I also know, too, like, once I'm dead, what's it matter? I'll be somewhere. By that point, hopefully I'll get to see my brother and my sister Heather and some of them that have already passed on. At least before I end up getting sent to hell for a while. Because I can't say I've been a perfect human being and I'm realistic. Even though I was baptized, I do believe in God and all that stuff. I'm not one of those people who's going to try and look at you dead in the face and go, I'm going to heaven. I'm leaving that judgment in God's hands. All I can do is just hope that He sees the good in me where others don't. That big guy's been able to see everything that's been going on, so no matter what that person says, he knows better. Just like they do. He knows better. But I've got to get myself moving. I got to change and all. I get out of my sleepy clothes. And I got to get outside, get moving around. So yeah. I hope you guys have a good day. Thanks for watching. I'll update again here later. Kind of let you know how the day went. Take care, guys, and thanks for watching, alright? I'm late.